Week number 12, start bench show, morning show. Aaron Rodgers out, Jacobs out, Emmanuel Wilson, a good start. Tucker, an amazing start. We've got a lot to go over as the news unfolds and breaks right before your very eyes. File on in. The Fantasy Football Show morning show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live at midnight almost every single night. We've got a bunch of news here to break down and a lot of start bench questions to go over as you all explore your potential opportunities that are in front of you to try and claim a playoff berth, or maybe you're in the lead, but you're trying to make some sense of it. You're trying to get a better seed, whatever the case may be. Some of you can do a last-second trade. We got to go over that. But right now, Jacobs is out, according to Tom Pelissero. This came in about 5-6 minutes ago. Jacobs pushed all week to play despite his bone bruise and his thigh contusion, but the Packers decided to play cautiously with a short week upcoming. There is no pregame workout, just a conversation when Jacobs arrived. There is hope that he could play Thanksgiving at Detroit. The quick turnaround is definitely a reason why they may have sat him, just like Joe Burrow in that situation, preparing for Thanksgiving, having a short week, having really no practice time next week. And that's what's probably going down. But Emmanuel Wilson becomes a really good play. The question will be, do you start Emmanuel Wilson or do you start another player like Hendy? Of course, I'm going to go Hendy, but we're going to have a lot of questions around that. Just to let you know, Sean Tucker and Emmanuel Wilson is going to be a big topic today. So we'll be answering. Expect to have a lot of questions that relate to that. But this Green Bay Packer situation is one to watch at Green Bay versus the Minnesota Vikings. Certainly a tough passing matchup for Jordan Love and the receivers over in Green Bay. Minnesota's going to blitz the hell out of Love. Not that Love couldn't have a good day, but I think that if there's going to be a good day, probably going to be on the ground through Emmanuel Wilson. But I think that there could be one of those disappointing outcomes awaiting you if you're thinking that Emmanuel Wilson, just because the opportunity is there, is going to step in and be some sort of top 5 running back. So you got to tread lightly, be careful, and don't put all your eggs in one basket if you are heading toward the basket that is Emmanuel Wilson. So we've got that news. We got Aaron Rodgers sitting out this game as well. Rodgers, like Jacobs, was pushing to play. No Aaron Rodgers. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin told Adam Schefter and the boys in the pregame interview that Mason Rudolph will start today versus Chicago. This will be interesting because, Rudolph has done decent at times. He's kind of like Ryan Fitzpatrick and Joshua Dobbs and so many other quarterbacks that when they get in there with no prep, defenses don't have a lot of film, even though they have film and people know about him. He's played in the league before. It's still, something where there's not film on him this year. There's not film. The people in the lineup this year, they don't have, I remember watching film on Rudolph like 5 years ago. It doesn't work like that. So there usually is some sort of surprise attack in that the quarterback could have a good day. And this will be an interesting game. And Chicago, they keep getting really lucky every step of the way. With their defense and everything else, it's wild. Chicago, good for Chicago. Chicago fans deserve this, even though I think that there's going to be some quarterback struggles potentially in this one, but it will, I think, hopefully be a successful rush attack with Swift, with Monangai. I think Monangai is still a crafty hold. Make sure he's not out there. Just like Tootin, Monangai and Tootin have the most league-winning potential from the running back position outside of Emmanuel Wilson for right now. Emmanuel Wilson is a very nice, you can see the running back category here. This is old. There's definitely been some changes and some additions, but the old week 12 waiver wire board, Benson, Tucker, Tootin, Monangai, Gainwell, Singletary, Emmanuel Wilson. Emmanuel Wilson now moves if you were to, again, waivers have already taken place, but this board is a good barometer as to what's moving around. So, like, clearly Wilson goes back to the top of the board when he was expected to fall to the bottom just because he's starting. But, do you want a running back that is going to help you 2 weeks from now? If it's 2 weeks from now, then Emmanuel Wilson isn't the player that you want from the board. It would be Benson. It would be Tucker. It would be Tootin. It would be Manungai. These are all players that have different values for different reasons. And so there is no exact answer as to what running back you should have universally across all situations and teams. So, very, 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 I guess, dependent on your roster as far as who you're attacking. Let's go through all the other news. Let me just read off everything that I can find to right now. Then we'll open up super chats, potentially phone lines. I don't know how much phone call action we're going to take today, but I'll let you know. Scattaboo definitely keeps making waves. Scattaboo is worrying me a little bit because he's on social media and he's streaming and he's trying to get his his streaming accounts. He plays games, obviously, trying to get those suckers up, and he's shirtless. He's chugging drinks through his shoe. He's doing math problems and questions. I love Scott. Scott's so fun. But then he's at WWE events, and he's actually, a couple days of walking, and he's pushing and shoving players or WWE people, and it's just like it's concerning a little bit. He did a math problem last night. Someone asked him, what's 6 times 7? He's like, I don't know. Like, you gotta love Scat, but I hope Scat is going to be okay. It's a little early on to be seeing all the. I love him. Hopefully he continues to. He's all over the media right now. Sanders makes his first start. Shedeur Sanders, good for him. Let's hope Shedeur Sanders does it. Hasn't been.
Mashed potatoes.
It's a good day. Gunner players of the week. If anybody doesn't know, the Gunner players of the week.
The Gunner Player of the Week.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Let's switch out the Gunners. We'll go with the old school. These are the old school Mavericks. I love the Mavericks. The Mavericks are one of my old school favorites. Every once in a while, I switch over to the Mavericks. 15% off using code Smitty. Also, make sure if you want to play Underdog today, play 5, get 100 on Underdog. That link I'm going to drop in the live chat right now. Then I'm going to pin it. If anybody wants to tail these hires I'm about to tell you about, would love to have you tail the hires. The hires for me today would be Trey Henderson, 55 yards. That's a fantastic Underdog hire. Jahmyr Gibbs is a fantastic hire, even though that's a big number. Usually we're in the 50s when we're trying to hit a hire. 73 yards against the the New York Giants. I think he's going to crush that, so that's a good one. J-Mo, 62.5 yards. I feel like he's going to soar over that. J-Mo and Pickens are two of my favorite low-end wide receiver ones. People don't want to call wide receiver ones. 68.5 yards. Tough matchup, but again, CeeDee Lamb takes a lot of the brunt of that kind of thing, and I think that we see Pickens do well. Jacobs out. Bucky to play week number 13. Just know that Bucky is back next week. That's already being talked about as a near lock. Shedeur Sanders is ready to play. Shedeur is ready to play. Who's expecting Shedeur to have a good game? Superflex, decent play. Not saying he should be starting over other fantasy football top 10 quarterbacks or anything like that, but I'm excited about what Shedeur could bring to the table with some preparation. The guy's been held back. Shame on the Browns. The Browns even admit that they'd start Dylan Gabriel if he could play. They just want to set this kid up for failure. I hope he goes out there and at least opens a door to be traded. Hopefully Jacksonville says, let's pair Hunter and Shedeur together because T-Law's spoiled milk. T-Law doesn't have it. T-Law's not the guy. You got to move on from T-Law. Does Liam Cohen know that? I don't know that. I don't know if Liam Cohen knows that. I know that he doesn't know that he doesn't have the right quarterback, but we'll see what happens. We've got, let's see what else we got. News as far as players that we got. Steelers, Mason Rudolph, starting QB roundup today now includes Mason Rudolph for the Steelers, Joe Flacco for the Bengals, Kirk Cousins for the Falcons, Tyrod Taylor For the Jets, the Giants have Jameis Winston, the Browns have Shedeur Sanders, and the Cardinals have Jacoby Brissett. You know, we know all this to be true, but to actually hear it out loud is absolutely asinine. What a crazy quarterback situation we got on our hands. 2025 week number 12. I mean, guys, we haven't seen something this messy in a while. This is absolutely ludicrous that we have. Let me put this on screen and just gander at this list, and it makes you really, really scratch your head about the fantasy football 2025 season. And I told people before, I've been through no worse years than this year in terms of injuries and bust rate. And that goes for like each one almost individually too. Like I haven't seen this many busts in probably 2 decades, and I haven't seen this many injuries in 2 decades, and I certainly haven't seen this many of the combination. Look at this quarterback starting gauntlet here. Steelers, Rudolph, Bengals, Flacco, Falcons, Cousins, Jets, Taylor, Giants, Winston, Browns, Sanders, Cardinals, Brissett. This is absolutely crazy. And Houston to add to the list, Davis Mills, Houston on Thursday night. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. So, chew on that. That's wild. That's about as wild as it gets. Let's see if there's any other news that we need to discuss. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you all being here. Hit that thumb up button on the way in the door, please, and we'll go over more. Let me hit some of these super chats real quickly. We have a couple $20 haulers that should get immediate attention, as they always do and always will. And this one here from RM20, appreciate your 20. Richard, appreciate your $20 hauler. You guys are going to get immediate attention right now. We'll go back to the news after I read these 20s, and then we'll let me see if I can find them all. Slick, appreciate you with a $20 hauler as well. I think I got all the 20s on screen. 20s will get immediate attention this morning. So if you do drop a 20, I'll push it ahead of all the news or anything else we're talking about. Smitty, it's 54 and beautiful in Baltimore. Getting ready for the Jets pounding. I need major upside in standard league. Do you use Brees or Tet? Gonna get some Fins inside info in the offseason. Thank you, Slick. Appreciate you. Slick's normally on a plane. Today he's on the field. And his $20 hauler, per usual, out there probably with this tank top on or shirtless with Ravens paint all over him, I'm sure. We need a photo of that. But 54 out there in Baltimore. I'm going to say give me Ted McMillan for safety and for about as much upside. As much as I love Breece Hall, I don't know, and this is probably going to be great for you if you're rooting for this. You don't want to watch Breece Hall go crazy and you're rooting against him. Unless you're, I guess unless you're a Jets fan. I'm pretty sure it's Baltimore for you. But I think that everybody out here can say that Tet has maybe an equal amount of upside, and he has that built-in safety and floor. And with Bryce Young looking pretty good, I think in full PPR or even half PPR, it does feel like Tet's probably the safer call. Not that I don't love Breece Hall. Not that Breece Hall can't be 100 yards and a touchdown on any given day. I just think that you're in PPR or half PPR, especially PPR, you're just looking at such a bigger floor for Tet. I mean, Tet could go out and have 5 or 6 catches for 50, 60 yards, and Breece Hall could go out and have 125 rushing, no touchdowns to speak of or anything, and you're talking about a bad game for Tet or a mediocre game for Tet being the same game for Breece Hall. Chat, do you agree or disagree? Tet McMillan, T-Mac, or would you go with Breece Hall? Please vote for Slick. Can I get at least 10 votes? RM, appreciate your super chat. RM says, need a flex advice. AJ Brown, Judkins, Emmanuel Wilson, Tootin. I'm projected to win slightly. I'm going to go Judkins in this situation. I know that's not what everybody would do. I just think Judkins is probably in for a pretty decent day. I think Judkins is likely to get a lot of second half attention, which is what you really want. Like this Raiders situation, it's in LV, but that doesn't really matter. Could it be a close game? Sure. Anything can happen when you have quarterbacks like Shedeur and Geno. When you have offenses like Cleveland's and the Raiders, and you can see in the middle of the screen here that Cleveland at LV matchup. I just think the game script for Cleveland, the rushing attack for Cleveland, for Judkins specifically, will not be game scripted out. I think this could be one of those days where he has 2 touchdowns on the ground. I do think A.J. Brown is always capable, squeaky wheel, of potentially doing well and having one of those league-winning games. I think that Manuel Wilson's a really nice play, but is he better than Judkins? I don't think he vaults above Judkins because he's starting. So's Judkins. If Judkins wasn't starting and they said, you know what, Judkins is starting, would you then all of a sudden vault Judkins up to the top 5? I think it's a shiny new novelty, shiny new toy in Emmanuel Wilson that makes us want to put him in there over Judkins, but I don't think we can. Love Tootin this week, but you can't do that. So if I am using one option, it's going to be Judkins, and if I had a second choice, it would be a hard choice between AJB and Wilson anyway. But chat, vote if you go Judkins. Judkins to the moon, sure. Tootin or Rashad White, you're going Tootin, my boy. Richard, sup, homie, in first place, but can't let foot off the gas. 3 quick questions. Start 3 of these. Wilson, Genty, Tucker, Tootin. We're going to probably go, man, Genty, Tucker, and Wilson's your safe play. Tootin's your high-risk, high-reward play. You got to pick your poison, Richard. But Richard needs your help. Guys, please vote Wilson or Tootin. And then your second question, Dak or Baker. I go Baker this week. Dak's got a really, really tough matchup. And I just think Baker is going to have a nice little day. Baker, touchdown maker. It's a tough matchup for Baker too. But it's a spotlight game. It's a Sunday night game. It's the fun game. I'm watching that game and expecting a shootout. So that's good for Baker. Whereas I look over this Dallas Cowboys matchup and I just say to myself, I don't know. It's the third of the bottom of these afternoon games. So right here, this Philly at Dallas, it's a tough one. And I'm not saying Dak can't step up. And I do like Pickens this week. I do like, Lamb. But doesn't mean Dak's going to have necessarily 3 or 4 touchdowns and 300, 400 yards. Could have some INTs. Could have some mistakes. So, I think I'm probably going to go Baker. Start Wan'Dale, Robinson, or Jacoby. Guys, if you disagree, Baker or Dak, actually drop a vote. Baker or Dak, please. At least 5, 6 votes on that one. Start Wan'Dale or Jacoby Myers. Probably Wan'Dale, but I don't love that one. I wish there was a different call for you. And let me see if I have any other super chats. This is a $20 hauler that needs immediate attention from Tucker. Tucker, thank you for the 20 spot, my boy. Tucker to the moon. I think we got this one here. Wrath gets immediate attention as well with a $20 hauler. Let me see if I have any other $20 haulers that need immediate attention and to be dragged on screen. If anybody else wants to drop a 20 and jump the line, that's certainly on you to do so, and you can do that. This in here from Wrath. Wrath says 10-team 4 PPR: Mahomes, Kyron, Dowdle, Swift, Chuba, Corum, Tootin, Rice, Diggs, McBride, Gadsden, Wan'Dale. Do I drop Golden for Burden? Yes, I think Burden has a pretty good day and his trajectory is going up, whereas Golden, not only is it a tough matchup for the Packers in general, so you might not see Golden, you're just not getting the consistency out of him. Even if he catches a 50, 60, 70-yard touchdown, guess what? He did it with speed. He didn't do it because he's getting better. He isn't doing it because he's getting more work. He isn't doing it because he's on the rise. He's doing it because he's one of the fastest kids in the NFL, and eventually he's going to get one of those, and then you're going to start him, and he's going to disappoint you. Burden, they're going to use more. He's the St. Brown-esque player that Ben Johnson eventually wants to deploy. That is, DJ Moore's been very successful this year in spots, and that's what Ben Johnson wants Burden to be. And Ben Johnson said this past week leading into this week that he wants to use Burden more. Burden's going to get more work. Burden's earn more work. So not planning to keep Golden as a bust. Yeah, I'd rather have Burden overall. But it's certainly something to monitor, I guess, week to week in case anything changes. Baker, Bo, Bijan, Gibby, Bucky, Hendy, Tracy, London, Tet. This one's from Tucker. $20 hauler. Should I trade London for Lamar and or another piece? I would definitely trade London for Lamar and another piece. I like Baker. I like Bo. I think Lamar's a league winner. I think that you do have to get something else because the fair market value of London, even in his certain situation, even missing this week, is still a couple rounds, maybe 3 rounds ahead of Lamar right now. Lamar's current, very undervalued, very low. Ziggy, show me the front door. very low value. He's undervalued by an extreme amount. So if anybody thinks that they Ziggy off, if anybody thinks that they're trading for Lamar right now, if they're Ziggy off, jeez, if they're trading for Lamar at a old third or fourth round value, you're not using fair market value to your advantage. So this is a fourth rounder or later minimum. Like fourth rounders might even be too generous. So London, even with his situation being out this week, being injured, yeah, maybe London is somebody that ranks in the top of 3 instead of the middle or top of 2. But Lamar's still further from that. So get more, but I certainly love this trade. Not sure I aim for a trade. What should I aim for in a trade? Not trusting Kirk. I mean, I would just say it depends on what you can get back. You're trying to get something back. You're trying to get like a Harvey with the upside. Think Hendy and think JMO and think Ladd. Ladd could be somebody you throw in. JMO, you can't, but Ladd and JMO are in that same tier of, okay, get them and the world's going to wish they had believed. Get Harvey, the world's going to wish they believed. Get a Monty who could suffice. There's a lot of different players you could throw in that would make this trade very doable. But Lamar is worth going and getting. Appreciate your super chat. I think I've got all the $20 haulers handled. Appreciate we got this description of the sticker that was dropped by Pep, baby lemon with his pom-poms in his hand cheerleading. Thank you, Pep, for dropping that sticker, by the way, which it describes it to me, but everybody else gets to enjoy the sticker that you provide. Thank you, my guy. Let's see if there's any other news to go over before we start hitting these super chats and chipping them away in order in which they're received. Appreciate you all being here. You guys absolutely rock. Let's see what else we got here. How many people we have in the building? 600 people from YouTube, about another 100 or so from X. Let me see if there's any other news. Joe Burrow obviously out another week. If anybody doesn't know that information, Flacco obviously starting. If anybody doesn't know that information, Aaron Rodgers out. Jacobs out, Emmanuel Wilson in. Everybody's going to throw Emmanuel Wilson in. They can't wait to put him in their lineup. I can't blame them for wanting to put him in, but are you getting overzealous and making a weird decision because you're excited about the situation and not making a smart call with a player that's, definitely already should be in your lineup? Let's see here. We've got, let me see if there's any other news that's screaming at us right now. Actives today, this would be a helpful graphic we'll put up from Schefter, and I'll put it on screen right now. Schefter is usually dropping all of the actives and inactives about this time pretty much every day, so this will be a very helpful thing. Let me throw this on screen here. This will kind of summarize the entire morning, essentially, and then from there, we'll hit these super chats. Maybe open phone calls, we'll have to see. Hang tight. All right, this one from Schefter. Come on, my boy. Where is it at? Let's see if I can get this over my screen. All right. These are the ins and outs for the week. If my screen will load there. Okay, here it is. Kenneth Walker, active. Ramondre Stevenson, active. Xavier Worthy, active. Isaac Tesla, active. Desperate play, not the best play, but desperate play. Restrepo, active, decent play. Again, I really like DK this week if you need a receiver. Wicks, active. Inactive today, Rodgers, Jacobs, Matthew Golden is out, so don't expect Golden to help you today. Jonathan, Grenard, let's go Bateman, and what else do we have? I don't think there's any other inactives. So just make sure you don't have Jacobs, Matthew Golden in, Aaron Rodgers, Bateman. Those guys are all out this week. Kenneth Walker with the glute will play, but will he potentially get more work like they've been screaming about? Or will, because he's been banged up, will he not be able to get the work that people expect him to have this week? An increased workload because his coach said he deserves more carries and looks. Maybe he'll get it, maybe he won't. Maybe the glute won't be an issue, maybe it will. That's that. Now let's see if we got any more super chats that were... Nope, we don't. So let's go straight through one at a time from the top. Kareem Hunt versus Indy or Sean Tucker. I'm going Sean Tucker without a hesitation. Kareem Hunt's safer, maybe not actually, maybe not. But you know, is he a 10-point guy? Sure. Is Sean Tucker maybe an 8 or 9-point floor? I think so. But he has more upside than Hunt, so it's an easy call. Start 2, Ramondre Hendy. We're going Hendy. Let's see. Manungai. You know, this is one of those situations where you could go Ramondre and Hendy. I think I'd go Hendy and Manungai, but I was leaning starting Ramondre and Hendy. And then if that's the way you're leaning, I would say stick with that. You're certainly going to burn one of those, I think, lines, but at least you're guaranteed something, you know? You don't get screwed with the rotation. Plus, Manungai's not that much safer at all. I think that's probably the smart play. The Dunze or Jameson Williams are going to go Jameson Williams, bro. You know, it's going to be a pretty big day, I think, for J-Mo. Smitty, should I start Barner or Fant? I'm going to go Barner. I think Barner is a good play, good grab, good hold, good start, good stash. Mooney, Parasol, or Downs. Give me Parasol by a hair. Mooney's not bad, and his rapport with Cousins is pretty notable, but I still think Parasol, his rapport with Purdy's notable, and I just think he's a better player. Emmanuel Wilson or Kamara. Kamara's a pretty decent play. I think Kamara is safer. I think Emmanuel Wilson's higher risk, higher reward. So why I'd like to tell you there's an answer here, there's not. It's safety, Kamara. That's safe. I don't know what the ceiling is. Nobody does. You know, is he dropping off? Is Shook gonna, what's gonna happen? I guess you just put Kamara in if you're not needing a big swing. If you need a big swing, go Emmanuel Wilson. So there's no real right answer there. Emmanuel Wilson or Michael Wilson, the Wilson Bros. I'd probably say Emmanuel Wilson's safer in this situation, and then Michael Wilson's safer in this situation. Emmanuel Wilson's a higher risk, higher reward. So it's the same thing, actually, because Michael Wilson just proved that he's going to get targeted like crazy, and Brissett's going to throw the damn ball to him. And 15 targets, 150 yards, like that's what could happen when Brissett's like, let me throw 50, 60 times. I'd probably say. I would say go Michael Wilson if you want safety. Go Emmanuel Wilson if you want high risk, high reward. I wish there was a concrete answer for some of these, but it really comes down to what do you need? Are you projected to win? Do you need a big swing? So hopefully you make the right call there, but there's no real good answer. Chat vote, which Wilson would you start? Emmanuel Wilson or Michael? And I forgot Tootin, Parker, Washington, or Slayton today. Of these two, easily picking Tootin. Tootin's my boy, and he's here to stay. So Tootin to the moon. May or Goff, I'm going to go probably May. I can't sit May. I think Goff's a good play today, but you can't sit May. And Bam Knight, Xavier Worthy, or Ferguson as my flex. I'd probably say Ferguson's the safe play with the touchdown. Worthy's, of course, a bigger swing, more risk for 2 points, but upside for 18 to 20 versus Ferguson. Let's call it 8 to 15. So if you want safety, go Fergie. If you want a big swing, go Worthy. PPR league and pick 2: Greg Dortch, Michael Wilson, or Judy. I'm gonna go with Dortch and Wilson hedge there. Judy's not bad, but we just don't know what's in store for that Cleveland passing attack. So give me the hedging my bets, both the wide receivers and AZ. And I think no matter what, they both produce a little bit. So I don't think you're like, getting something from one and nothing from the other. Emmanuel Wilson or Pickens. I don't let a cute, shiny toy sway me away from putting Pickens in the lineup. Based on, let's see, the SA lawsuit bench Diggs for Dunze. I don't know, bro. I think Diggs is deserving of this play. Anything can happen. Dunze at any moment could have 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's the problem, though. It could go from 2 points to 25 points, whereas Diggs is probably a steady 10 to 15. I'd go steady 10 to 15 if that's what you need. I'd go big swing for a Dunze if you literally can't win unless you get 2 touchdowns and 110 yards. That is, the receiver getting that is most likely a Dunze. So you have to make your call of safety or high risk, high reward. Hey, Smitty, Loveland, Fannin, Barner, start 1. Probably Fannin for safety, Barner, higher risk, high reward. I like Barner this week, though. I do like him as a stash. So pick your poison there. Gainwell, Emmanuel Wilson, or Kamara. Again, we asked the chat this already. Kamara or Wilson. It's gonna be tough to make this call because Wilson's got the higher upside. Kamara is safer. I think I probably lean toward if I'm projected to win or it's dead even, go Kamara. But if you need a big swing and you need that high risk, high reward play and you're okay striking out, you're going to the plate, you're going to hit a home run or you're going to strike out. At least Kamara's going to bunt. He's going to get a single, probably a double, a couple of them. Whereas Wilson's going to go up to bat 3 times and maybe have 3 home runs or maybe have 3 strikeouts. You have to make that call. I wish there was an easy answer. There isn't. Would you start Emmanuel Wilson over ETN, Warren, or Dunze? Same answer here, but I would say I'd probably lean toward ETN. But same answer. Wilson is a 3 swing, 3 strikeout, or 3 home run player today. And you just can't gloss over and go, oh, put him in. He's amazing. He could be. He very well could be, but he also has a little bit of a risk. Flex Rashad White, Tracy, or Trey Tucker. I'm going to go probably Tracy for safety. Tucker, higher risk, a little bigger swing. I'd probably go Tracy because I think he's got a steady of enough floor with some upside for a big breakaway touchdown or something. Trade my Buka and Adams for JJ and Dowdle. I would probably take, close call. I'd probably take JJ and Dowdle personally. But Buka and Adams is a fantastic side. I don't think you're losing on either side. I think it's a dead even trade. GM, who's a better stash? Good morning. Who's a better stash? Tootin or Monangai Tootin? We talk about Tootin every single day. I love Monangai too, though, but we're talking about Tootin every single day for a reason, bro. Jameson Williams versus the Giants or Sean Tucker. I'd probably go Sean Tucker for safety. Jameson Williams, a little bit more of a strikeout and miss type of guy, but he certainly has the big home run ability. If you want steady Eddie, go Sean Tucker. Still comes with pretty good ceiling, too. Tyler, Penix, IR, need QB, Sanders, Winston, or Tyrod. I'd probably go... Damn, man. This is a tough call. Chat, who are you starting this week? Tyrod, Taylor, Winston, or Sanders? Sanders has the Raiders. I think I'm going to go Sanders. I don't think it's an easy call. Definitely could backfire, but at least Sanders has a very, very bad defense. Very nicely set up to have success today when everything's going against him. And I can kind of see the storyline right now either being really bleak and that he's awful, he's trash, or he absolutely impresses everybody. And with the matchup against the Raiders, I kind of think it's more likely to be the impressive part. Flex Tootin or Pearsall. I go Tootin. Don't even hesitate personally. Start Gainwell or Tootin in my flex. I'm going Tootin. I don't even hesitate. This one here from my boy. Awesome. Thank you. 0.5 Diggs or Rome this week. Rest of season. I hope rest of season I answer Rome. Right now I'm going to go Diggs, but very, very close between the two. You can't really go wrong. I mean, you probably will. One will outscore the other, but it's a good call. Full PPR, 2 flex, Tucker, Yoshivas, Parker, Washington, Godwin. Godwin's going to be limited. We're going to go Tucker as a lock, and I'm probably going to go Parker, Washington in hopes that he does a little today what he was supposed to do last week in a disappointing game. One kicker, Butker. Let's go Butker. I think Butker's going to do some things. He's going to do a thing. Start Purdy or Brissett. I'm going to go Brissett, who just gets so much volume out there, bro, on the table. Full PPR, 1 flex, Mooney or Pierce. I'm going to go Pierce. Pierce has been pretty steady. Eddie, how could we sit him? Puka for Adams and Javonte Williams, or Drake, London, and Ladd or McMillan. What in the hell are we doing here with this? And or ifs, but carry the one. What are we talking about? Puka for Adams or Javonte? I'd probably rather have Puka in a vacuum, or Drake and Ladd or McMillan. I just write it out. Drake and Ladd or McMillan. So Drake and Ladd or Drake and McMillan. I'm still wanting Puka, I think, on all counts. Thank you, Mr. Blue. Appreciate you for the super chat. Should I flex Jennings, Tootin, or Mondre? I don't think I could sit Tootin here, bro. These aren't good enough options. Tootin to the mother freaking moon this game, this contest at this type of value. Brees or Sharps? I'm going Brees Hall in this situation, given that Sharps is guaranteed nothing, but I like him. Must win. Start one. Tootin, Hunt, Burden. Give me Tootin. It's risky. Hunt's a little safer. If you want safety, if you're a careful Caleb, don't be going toward this. Tootin. Buka or Zay, come on, bro. Anything can happen. Like, trust your gut. But what are we doing? Sharps or Tootin? I'm going Sharps. The other one, what are we even doing, bro? What are we? How could you don't deserve to start Buka today if you're going to question him? Now because I yelled at you about that, you know Buka's going to have a lesser day than Zay. But Zay is a good play. I want to make it very abundantly clear. If you got Zay, I like Zay, but why are we 9 times out of 10, maybe 10 times out of 10, Buka's outscoring Zay? So, like, what are we doing there? You're getting cute. You're doing some, like, last-second thinking. Stop. Danny Dimes versus the Chiefs or Brissett versus the Jags. I'd probably go Brissett versus the Jags. He's probably just a safer play, and he's done amazing work so far. Like, let's keep trusting it, I guess. Start 2, Pierce, Tootin, Knight, Burden, Manungai. I'm going to go Pierce and Tootin. Not much of a question for me, at least right now. PPR Tootin or Michael Wilson. I'm going to go Tootin for high risk, high reward. Michael Wilson for safety. If you need safety, you're projected to win, you're coasting. Go with the safer call here. Pick 3, Genty, Brees, Tucker, Emmanuel Wilson. I'm going to go probably Tucker and Genty, and probably Wilson for safety, Brees for higher risk, higher reward. You got to pick your poison there, but at least it's narrowed down to those 2, Brees or Wilson. If you need safety, go Wilson because he's going to get a lot of work. If you want bigger swing with team risk and just concern all around, it's Brees. You know, he could either hit home runs or not. It's tough to say. Rudolph or J.J. McCarthy, J9. I guess J9 over McCarthy, but bro, those are awful choices, unfortunately. Good luck with that though. Tootin or Gainwell. Tootin for me. Tootin. J9 at least has JJ, you know. That's kind of the way I look at it. Pick 2, Tet, Hendy, Devontae Smith. I'm going to go Tet and Hendy without much of a hesitation, even though anything can happen. Not trying to disrespect our boy Devontae. He could do really well. Judkins or Tucker this week. I probably lean Judkins, but I love Tucker. I just lean Judkins a little bit, but it's a very close call. Actually, you know what? Let me amend that because we're going to be back in here celebrating Tucker's day. Tucker's your, again, step up to the plate, 3 swings, you're getting 3 home runs, you're getting 3 strikeouts. You're not getting 1 home run, 1 strikeout, 1 single. I'm telling you, he's either getting 3 strikeouts, 3 of them, or 3 home runs, one or the other. So if you want a big swing, you go Tucker. If you want, safety, you go the other route. So I just want to amend what I just said because we'll be in here probably celebrating a Tucker victory. Swift or Emmanuel Wilson, Smitty for my flex. I would probably say Emmanuel Wilson's your big swing. Swift is more steady. Swift has been doing it, bro. Swift's probably your safer avenue. I don't think you could say that Swift isn't safe. He's pretty damn safe. The thing is, does he get hurt during a game or something? He's been kind of banged up a couple times this year, but I think Swift is probably just the safe move, probably. Almost 700 people in the building from YouTube. Please hit that thumb up button on the way in the door and subscribe if you're new. Smitty, pick 2 players, 1 running back, 1 flex. Hunt, Wilson, Tucker, Dobbs, Pearsall, Tez, Burden. I'm going to go, my 1 running back is going to be Wilson. No, Tucker. My 1 flex is going to be, let's go Wilson. Let's go Wilson and Tucker. I like Pearsall, I like Dobbs, I like Hunt, but that makes it easy because now I don't have to sit one of those running backs and have to make that decision, and I'm rolling both of them out there. So that's a pretty easy call for me. Anything can happen. Make sure you trust your gut. Start Emmanuel Wilson or Breece Hall. Emmanuel Wilson, we've had this question about 5 times. Emmanuel Wilson is safer because the volume's, I think, guaranteed for him, especially with the passing attack struggling. But could he get the game scripted out? Probably not because they'll throw to him still. Could Breece Hall just have a bad offense all game long, 3 and outs, just no field position? But he's got that home run ability. But because the team's so bad, he's the high-risk, high-reward play. Emmanuel Wilson's your steady Eddie. I wish there was an easy answer there, but you got to choose what you need. Are you projected to win? Then go with the steady Eddie choice. If you want a big swing, then go with the big swing. Might be a dumb question, but Dak or Brissett? Not a dumb question at all with a bad matchup for Dak against the Philadelphia Eagles that are going to try and shut him down. I think that he'll have success in spots, and that's why I still like Lamb at Pickens. But I do think Brissett might be a quite a bit safer in this contest. Guys, can you vote Brissett, the Briskinator, at home versus the Jaguars, or are you going with the Dallas Cowboy matchup for Dak Prescott up against that Philadelphia Eagle defense. Can you please let me know what you would advise? Dallas is at home, but it is Philly, and it could be a tough matchup. Philly's D is absolutely looking good right now. So vote on that one. Brissett or Dak? I'm going to say Brissett by a hair. Start 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Bijan, Chase Brown, Hendy, Rice, Buka, Pickens. Our 2 running backs are going to be Chase Brown and Bijan and Hendy. Our 2 wide receivers are going to be Rice and Buka. And our 1 flex is between Chase Brown and Pickens. Wow. Chat, vote on this one. Chase Brown or Pickens? I think I go Pickens. Chase Brown's got a tough matchup. I like Chase Brown, but it is a tough matchup. You're not really going to, I mean, one will outscore the other, but you're not really going wrong here. I don't think you lose sleep over your decision. I mean, it's a tough call. They're both great. I go Pickens in PPR or even half PPR. Sharps, Emmanuel Wilson, Tootin. I'm going to go Tootin without much of a hesitation. This is Tootin country up in here. Need to sit one. Fannin, Parker, Washington, or Burden. I'd probably sit. I guess I'd sit Fannin in this situation, but barely. I don't know. That's a crapshoot, bro. Kenneth Gainwell or Darnell Mooney. I'd probably go Gainwell, I think, in this one. He looks good. Mooney might be safer, but I don't know how much safer he is anyway. Hall, Sean Tucker, Emmanuel Wilson, or K9. I'm probably going to go Sean Tucker, but, bro, Wilson's a decent play. Hall's a decent play, obviously. I think Tucker comes with a little more safety. K9's been banged up, but, man, you almost needed to make some trades. There's too many players that are the exact same. You're going to struggle with that every week. We'll get that wrong as a group 50% of the time. Jaylen Warren or Kenneth Walker, then Pearsall, Alec Pierce, or Michael Wilson. Probably say, with Rudolph out there, I don't know what happens to the offense. I think I'd rather have probably Kenneth Walker, I suppose. He is going to play. They say he's going to get more work. Alec Pierce isn't bad either. Guys, would you rather start Michael Wilson, Warren, Kenneth Walker, or Pearsall, or Alec Pierce, or Michael Wilson? Maybe Michael Wilson's the play. Chat, vote Michael Wilson or Kenneth Walker. Michael Wilson, Kenneth Walker, Jaylen Warren. Maybe Michael Wilson's the best play, bro. I mean, he probably is steady. Full PPR, need to 2 flexes. Tootin, Godwin, Burden, Tillman. Go Tootin and Burden. Godwin's not ready for prime time yet. Guys, vote Wilson, Kenneth Walker. We got one split there. Wilson wins the vote quickly. So, yeah, Wilson. Bryce, Young, DJ, Danny Dimes. I'd probably go Danny Dimes, Tillman, Njoku, Hawkinson, or Mechie. I'd probably go, I guess I'd go Njoku as long as he's playing. Make sure he's playing, and you're on that news real quick because that's been spotty, but I think he's going to play. Genty or Sharps, I'm going to go Genty. You can't sit Genty in this situation. This one here is from Gabe. Gabe says start both Jacksonville running backs, 1 in the flex, or start Watson or Jacoby. I think I start both Jacksonville running backs before I go this route. Like if it was like Emmanuel Wilson, it'd be different, K9 or Monty. I think I go K9 is a little riskier. Monty's more of a steady Eddie, less upside, but I do kind of feel like Monty could score today. But I think K9 has ability for 2 points or 18. So Monty's probably in the middle. Probably doesn't have as high of a ceiling. For some reason, I want to go Monty. Chat, can you vote Monty or K9? I will admit, EA, I just in the Marsman League traded for Monty, so there could be some bias sneaking in. I'm telling you that right now up front, being honest with you. I got Monty in my lineup, and I'm hoping for it, so that could be some bias leaking in there. I'm going to lean Monty by a hair, but I think it's biased. Chat, vote. I just think Monty could score today. He's got a chance for 0, though. That's the problem. AJB or JMO, I would probably say JMO, but man, AJB could bounce back. I appreciate it. CD, don't get mad at me if I get this one wrong. You're talking about AJB being capable of 100 yards and a touchdown or 102 touchdowns any given game. He's always been that guy, but he's also the guy that is a drama queen, a diva, gives up on plays. His quarterback sometimes can throw for 4 touchdowns and sometimes struggle to throw for 120 yards and even get 1 touchdown. This matchup probably is pretty decent for them at the Cowboys. So I kind of feel like, as much as I want to say go JMO, I think you almost, if you're ever going to play AJB, it would be this game, right? It's the Dallas Cowboys. It's a great matchup. It's probably the one matchup you would want to believe in AJB. I love JMO though, but man, guys, what do you think here? What do you think here? Can I get a vote on this? JMO or AJB? AJB or JMO? Please vote. Let's see if this news is trickling in, and I'm so focused on answering these questions. I got to make sure I'm back in on the news and everything going on right now. So we've got Xavier Worthy active for week 12. We knew that. I think there's nothing else rolling in. I'm just trying to see if there's anything. Aaron Rodgers out. Jacobs out. AJB. I think the chat is saying JMO more than AJB. I do think this is the one game I would start AJB. I love JMO. The answer is I want both of them in there. JMO, I expect to have a huge day, bro. I don't want to confuse you, but I can't sit either one. It's a really tough call. I just think that this is the one matchup for AJB, so you got to probably keep him in there. But I'm not saying don't find a way for JMO to get in the lineup too. I really love JMO. We nervous about Sean Tucker against the Rams number 2 rush D? Yeah, I mean, to a degree. That's why you can't get overzealous. And definitely good news for those that have Bucky, because if Sean Tucker just goes out there and has a decent day, then Sean Tucker buzz is going to be nice. Ramondre or Pearsall? Pearsall for me. I don't think I'm sitting Pearsall in that situation. Husseini in the building. Yo, Smitty, I'm live at Arrowhead watching the Gunner Player of the Week, Rice. Also grabbed Tootin this morning. Attaboy, Husseini to the moon. Husseini, appreciate you.
You've just been Smitty.
The Gunner Player of the Week.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
I got my gunners on. Who else has got their gunners on? Blue light blocking glasses is the only way to live. I'm telling you. Indoors is the only way I live. Outdoors is the only way I live. But especially indoors is the only way I live. Gunner blue light blocking glasses. Genty or Judkins. Ottner, Strange. Probably Strange. And then Ramondre or AK. Very easy questions for me. Anything can happen, obviously. But those I didn't even hesitate on. Walker, Wilson. I think I go Wilson this week, but very, very close. Hey, Smitty, start 2. JMO, Judkins, Genty. I go JMO and Judkins. See how I'm going JMO in almost every question? It's only that AJB question that I'm struggling with JMO. JMO, we're going to celebrate his victory today. We're going to come in and we're going to be a JMO people, and I want that guy to know, because I just don't want him to miss out on that. But at the same time, like, AJB is a tough sit. PPR, 1 flex, Emmanuel Wilson or Wandell. You got to go Emmanuel Wilson, I think, in this situation. Anything's possible, so trust your gut. This one here, should I drop Charbonnet or Harvey for Tootin? I would drop Charbonnet before I drop Harvey. Not that I don't love Charbonnet. He's league winning too, but Walker's still in the mix, firmly in the mix, and I just don't think it's smart. We got Perps with a $20 holler. Perps, where you been, my boy? Perps in the building. So excited to see Perps' face. Of course, Perps dropping a generous wad on the way in the door like he always does. Guys, Perps is in the building, a legend. Full PPR, lineup, help, pick 1, QB, 1 tight end, Mahomes, Stafford. Can't sit Mahomes. I understand Stafford's been playing great. I like Stafford a lot this week, but I can't sit Mahomes personally. McBride, Loveland, obviously your 1 tight end is going to be McBride. Pick 2 each of running back, wide receiver, and flex. 2 each of each of those. So Judkins and probably Genty, even though I do like Monty this week. You're going to go Watson and probably Debo, and then your flexes, you're going to do 2 flexes. You're going to grab Monty and probably, I would say, man, so you got Watson and Debo. It's probably going to be such a tough call. Monty, probably Burden or DK. I'd probably lean Burden. I like DK a lot, but the matchup's tough. I like Dortch a little bit. I like Booty a lot too, but we just don't know if Booty's going to be fully healthy. I think Burden, but Perps, this is tough. Guys, can you choose on that last one? Who are you going to flex if you got to pick between Burden, DK, Dortch, and Booty? Burden, DK, Dortch, and Booty. Dortch and Booty, just those two words do not belong side by side. Dortch and Booty. Dortch, Booty. DK, Dortch, Booty, and Burden. I'm selecting Burden personally. But Booty's a nice play this week. He's back. It's just, is he healthy? We don't know. Thank you for the $20 hauler, my boy. And Harvey Charbonnet for Tootin. I want Tootin. You got to get Tootin, though. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Why did I say Debo? You can't go Debo. So Debo's on bye. So, yeah, no. My bad. Let me see. Let me pull back up. At least in general, that would be my answer. Where's my damn perps? Okay, so perps, you're taking Debo. My bad. Totally forgot. Debo, obviously you're taking Debo out. Debo on a bye week. If anybody doesn't have the buys right in front of them, Chargers, Dolphins, Denver Broncos, and Washington Commanders all on a bye. So my fault. I'm going through so many questions. I'm just reading off lineups essentially on the season is sometimes my mentality. You're gonna put in. I'm gonna put in Booty and Burden then. So my two wide receivers would be Watson and probably Burden. Then my flex is gonna be Booty, I believe. Definitely starting Monty in the other flex. Sorry, perps. My brain fart for me. Thank you very much for the super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Dak and Brissett. I think we went over this like 3 times already. Not that you can't ask the question again, because sometimes my answer changes, bro. I'll probably say Brissett. Brissett's got the much better matchup. Dak's going up against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry, he's going up against the Dallas Cowboys, his own team. Sometimes they stand in his way. He's going against the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be a tough matchup. I'm going to go ahead and say give me Brissett, because the brisket keeps doing it live. Pickens, Henderson, Genty, Emmanuel Wilson, pick 2. Give me Henderson and Pickens, final answer. But, of course, Emmanuel Wilson could be very worthy in this game. Hold Sharps, drop for Stevenson to cuff Hendy. No, I'd rather have Charbonnet. I don't worry about cuffing things. I don't think Stevenson's important enough. But that's me. Maybe that's bias involved. Maybe I'm so anti-Stevenson because of Hendy. I don't know. I'll be honest. There could be some bias in there, but I don't think it's that big of it. I still think Stevenson's winning any leagues unless Hendy went down. Michael Wilson or Jaylen Warren. I think I go Michael Wilson, and we voted on this, and Michael Wilson seemed to be getting a lot of steady Eddie votes whenever we put him up. So I'm going to say Michael Wilson. Genty, Hall, Etienne, Flex, Addison, Stevenson, Burden. So sit 1, I'm going to sit probably, I guess I'm going to sit Etienne because of the Tootin Etienne divide. Maybe not. I'm going to sit, I go Genty and, man. Guys, are we sitting Hall or Etienne? I think you got to start Genty. Are we sitting Hall or Etienne? Please vote Hall or Etienne. Who are you sitting between those two? Addison, Stevenson, Burden. I'm probably starting. I think Addison safer, Burden's higher risk, higher reward. I think I go Addison. But please vote, guys. Sit 1. Or who are you starting? Yeah, I probably sit Hall as I agree with the chat, because Jets are just more problematic than even the Jags rushing attack will still be solid. I guess I sit Hall. It's a tough call, man. I mean, you can make a mistake at any moment with that kind of decision. So I appreciate you, my boy, for dropping the super chat. We got sit 1, JJ, Buka, Jamo, Olave, Hendy, Kyron, Henry. Probably Olave. I hate to do it, but it is what it is. I mean, I love those other options so much more. They just feel like a lock. This one, sorry if I missed it earlier. If you had to pick one, who are we playing? Tootin, Etienne today? I think you got to play Etienne. Guys, can we vote on this one, Dominic? Tootin or Etienne? You're probably playing Etienne. But this is a tough one, bro. This is a tough one. I think Etienne's guaranteed a certain amount of work. It's just going to come down to does Tootin outperform him per touch. So I think Etienne is the more guaranteed. But I do believe we're going to see a shift really soon. Sean Tucker or Judkins. I lean Judkins by a hair. I think the matchup is good. Sean Tucker's got a tough matchup. I lean Judkins by a hair. Jamo or Devontae Smith. I lean Jamo by a hair. This is a blank one from from Audra. Audra, appreciate your super chat. Make sure you always include the question in the super chat, or by the time I see it, I'm not even near other questions you may be dropping. Pick 2 to start for the flex: Stevenson, Pittman, or Dobbs. Then at tight end. At tight end, I'm gonna go Otten, even though he didn't have a good week last week. And then I'm going Pittman and probably, I guess, Dobbs. I don't trust Stevenson with the toe right now. So I'm going to say negative on that one. ETN or Tootin? We got this question about 5, 6, 7 times this morning, and I still struggle every time I answer it. I lean ETN, but I really badly want to say Tootin, and I think Tootin makes this a problem very, very soon, if not today. But I think you got to lean ETN right now. Am I right, chat? You kind of got to lean ETN right now. And Metcalf or Flowers, I probably lean toward. Am I crazy? Am I crazy for wanting to start Flowers over Metcalf with Mason in there? Or is Mason going to feed Metcalf? Can I get a 10 voter on this one? At least 10 votes. Metcalf or Flowers? I think Lamar and Flowers make a return today. But I don't know if that's me getting overzealous and maybe that's too much of a risk. I kind of feel like I think I want to roll Flowers. I think I'm going to say Flowers. Final answer, Jose. I might be wrong. Please trust your gut. Don't listen to me on this one because I'm telling you not to. I'm going Flowers. Start Bam, Tootin, or Watson. I'm going to go Tootin here. I'm going to toot.
You've just been.
Thank you very much. Start Bam, Toot. Let's toot. This one here from Chris. Chris, appreciate you. Mooney, Godwin, Tucker, easy question. Tucker is not the toughest question in some cases. In some cases he is. That one's an easy one. That's an easy Tucker question. I know we love Hendy, but we starting him over Barkley at Dallas. Not saying that. I mean, that's on you, Calvin. If you got the options to where you got to sit Barkley or Hendy, you should have made a trade. I personally would rather have, I think, Hendy, but this is one of those situations where honestly both of them need to be in your lineup or you should have made a trade. I know you may have tried, but you should have tried harder and kept trying it and send out 15 offers per person per day. There's no real good answer here. Barkley's got a great matchup. This should be good. He's got injuries to the offensive line. They could just throw the hell out of the ball though. You know, so I'm still leaning Hendy. I'm auto starting Hendy no matter what. So this comes at a cost for you, but you got to trust your gut on this one because it's so close, though. It really is. Judkins versus LV or Wilson. I'm going Judkins. Judkins is starting as well. I know Emmanuel Wilson's starting today, but guess who also is starting? Judkins. That didn't change. Start Tootin, Mason, Yoshivas at my flex. I'm going to go Tootin. Let's toot. Have to compensate Chase and Bucky not playing. I mean, Tootin does compensate there. He's high risk, high reward for sure. Hey, Smitty, start Brissett, Purdy, Flex, J-Mo, T-Mac. I go T-Mac. I'm not sitting T-Mac, but I want J-Mo in there somewhere, if you can figure it out. And then Brissett, for me, Brissett keeps doing it live, dropping fire. CMC, Henny, Stevenson, ETN, Puka, Debo, Marvin Harrison, DK, Pat, record 6-5. How is the roster? Do I make any moves? Deadline is today. Good luck trying to pull something off in the last hour, but I would say, trying to move Debo or DK with ETN is probably smart. I don't see Tootin on your roster, which is a huge mistake in owning ETN. So you probably need to try and move. You got to try and move maybe. Debo, MHJ, or DK, any one of those guys with ETN for one better running back. Or you can move Debo and Marv or Debo and DK for like one Adams, which would make some sense. Or honestly, looking at your team, don't take this offensively, but you probably with CMC, I love you got CMC and Puka, but you might want to consider trading CMC last second for 2 top 12 monsters. Don't be coming back with the injured London and a freaking DeAndre Swift. Like, we're talking about you're going and getting a Bucky and at least a Bucky and like a wide receiver like, I don't know, St. Brown. Or if you go Rashee Rice or Buka at wide receiver, you're coming away with a James Cook or Achane. But if I were you, I would try, or Bijan and something for CMC. you might want to consider it because, you know, with CMC and Puka, having that record tells me that you're going up against better teams, and so you might need to make a move. Tootin, Tucker, Sharps, probably going to go with Tucker in this situation. I do like Tootin, but you can't not play the guy getting all the volume. Play famous Jameis Winston. Jameis or Genty. Famous Jameis is Jamison Williams, or Jameis Winston, though. Okay, so Jamison Williams, I think, is what you mean. Jamison Williams or Genty. I'd probably go Jamison Williams for swing, Genty for a little more steady, which I don't know if he's that steady at all, but the volume should be. Tootin, Genty, Rome need to start one, leaning Rome. I would go Genty. Well, no, if you're leaning Rome, go Rome. I Smitty approved the Rome call. At any moment, you get a 1, 10, and 2. And if you're telling me your gut's saying that, I don't want to sway you. I'm okay with that. It's so close, I'm swaying too. But I might answer the opposite to someone else, but your gut's telling you that, I want you to roll with your gut because I'm forcing an answer. I'm indifferent in a way. So your gut's the more important aspect here. Hey, Smitty, greatest show. Thank you. Should I start Darnold, Bryce Young, pick 3? I'd go Darnold this week. Running back, pick 3. Genty, Hall. Let's go Henry, Hall, and Genty in that situation. And then wide receiver, Ibuka, A.J. Brown. I'm obviously sitting Mooney if I could only start 3. That's fantastic. Nice job, Comic. Nice team. Appreciate you. Flex one running back. 1 flex, 1 running back. So Judkins and probably Wilson for safety, and then Judkins and Tucker if you want a little bit higher risk with the matchup. Got to pick your poison there. I probably would go Tucker. PPR start 2, Flowers, Tracy, Wilson, Tootin. I'm going to go probably Flowers and Emmanuel Wilson with this combination here. That's when I start Emmanuel Wilson without much of a hesitation. Mahomes or Brissett, I can never sit Mahomes, bro. Sorry. Flex, Aaron Jones, Sharps, Parker, Washington, Tucker, or Judy. Tucker's the call. Tucker's the clear standout here, even with a tough matchup. Sharps or Jacoby, I go Sharps. I just don't trust Jacoby yet. Anything's possible. Judkins or Michael Wilson, I'm leaning Judkins, and I continue to. But they're both very close to trust your gut because I'm forcing an answer a little bit. Missed my super chat? Probably not. I think you just didn't wait long enough, but I think I remember even seeing your avatar. So missed my super chat? No. Pickens, Henderson, Genty, Wilson start 2. We said, I think I said Henderson for sure. Pickens and Genty and Wilson are just an impossible decision. I lean Pickens. He's been doing it live. He's been crushing it. Pick 3 of 4, Gainwell, Swift, Genty, Theo Johnson. I mean, Theo could do well. You never know. But Genty and Swift, you're not sitting those guys. I'm probably going to go Gainwell over Theo. I just think that the volume is probably going to be there. Start 1, Bam, Yoshi Voss, or Booty. I'd probably go Booty in this case, but Booty is definitely a risk coming off the injury, but I do think he could have a good day. Just traded my ETN, Tet, and BTJ for Bijan. Too much? No, I do that. I think that's a good trade. It's a tough one, but it's a good trade. Happy Sunday. Sharps or Tootin? I go Tootin. Tracy Hunt. I go Hunt for safety. I go Tootin shopping, though. Hendy to Orbit. Yes. House call. 2 house calls. Okay. Or Neptune. 3. Maybe, Coach. I hope it's at least 2. Let's hope it's at least 2, my boy. Appreciate you very much for dropping the super chat. I think we got a $20 hauler somewhere in here, and 20s get immediate attention and jump the line. Yes, they do. Full PPR. Start Aaron Jones or Judkins. Judkins, not even close. Thank you for the 20. Also start Parker Washington or Addison. This one could go either way. Parker didn't do it last week. Give me Addison. He's just a better player. And I know that sometimes the matchups dictate, but I think in that situation, I'm going to lean toward the best player. Hendy, hopefully 2 or 3 touchdowns. Absolutely, bro. Appreciate you. Let's hit that Hendy house call before we leave. I missed it, not you. Thanks, Smitty. Hey, no problem, bro. Appreciate you very much. I need to drop 1 Otten or Fannin. I would probably drop Otten, but I like both of them. Honestly, it's going to be back and forth each week. It's going to be back and forth, bro. Raiders D versus Cleveland or Packers D versus Minnesota. I think I go Packers D against J9. I don't think, the Raiders, it could be a good day, but Sanders also could carve them up. I mean, it's the Raiders, bro. Just because they're up against Shador doesn't mean they're going to do well. Shador might carve them up. Flex 1 PPR, Tyler Warren or Aaron Jones Kamara. I'm going Tyler Warren. He's such a steady Eddie, my boy. Throw him in there. Let him do it live. Manuel Wilson or Judkins. I keep getting this question, which I don't mind. You guys can keep asking it, but Judkins by a hair. But trust your gut. It's close enough. But Judkins, to me, is going to have a good day. The matchup is nice. I think he has 2 touchdowns. Half PPR, Manuel Wilson or Tucker. I lean Tucker. Matchup's tough, but I lean Tucker. But it's very, very close. Trust your gut. It's definitely something I'm forcing an answer on. I mean, I'm not indifferent, but I'm close to it. But I lean Tucker. Devontae Smith, Buka, Rice, J-Mo, Caleb, or Michael Wilson. Superflex pick 3. Wow. Look, if quarterback scoring is very conducive to this, like a good game outscoring a great running back game, then you got to throw Caleb into one of the spots. But you got to know your own scoring. So then my other 2 would be Buka and Rice without a hesitation. Now, if a good Caleb game isn't outscoring in your format a great running back or wide receiver game, I'm going J-Mo instead of Caleb. But you have to know your own scoring. I can't answer that because everyone's scoring is different for Superflex, but at least you know where I stand. Go look at Caleb's recent 3-4 games, and is he blowing away 100 yards and a touchdown type scoring for a running back? If the answer is yes, then you go Caleb. Lamar or Stafford? I'm going Lamar. Smitty to Jupiter? No. Dean to Jupiter. Dean, appreciate you, my guy. You're going to Jupiter, pal.
To Jupiter.
I'm going Lamar. Lamar is my player to trade for right now above mostly all other players in a way. Flex, Fergie, Worthy, Judy, Tez. I'm going to flex. I'm going to go Fergie for safety, Worthy for high risk, high reward, but I think I go Fergie. And Genty or Wilson, I'm going to go Genty, but it's really, really close. Trust your gut on that one. Quick thoughts on Bam Knight. He's okay. Had to bench Jacobs. I look for other options. Make sure Tootin's not out there. But, I mean, you're not giving me any other options. I think this is probably all you got, so you just want to hear. Bam's decent. If he plays, if he's healthy, if everything goes well, he could get you like 10 points. So it's not a bad play per se, but he's certainly not a lock by any means. And he's been banged up and I don't know. Thanks, my brother from another mother, Smitty to GOAT. By the way, I've been around watching from the hills, Draven style. Thank you, pal. I don't know where Draven is. I wonder if Draven ever watches anymore. Keep it up. Thanks, Perps. Sorry about the brain fart on the Debo call. Every once in a while, my brain is mush. Start 1 K9 Sharps or Judkins. Judkins, not even a question for me. That's easy stuff. It's light work. Hey, Smitty, non-PPR, help, please. Need 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. We're going to go Buka. We're going to go JJ. And we're going to go probably Genty over Wilson, but it's a tough call. That's the only dilemma. Chat, vote. 10 votes, please. Genty or Manuel Wilson. I know I've asked you a couple times. Let's get a fresh take on it. Manuel Wilson or Genty, at least 10 votes, and then Super Chatter friends use that as a guide. Pick 2, Judkins, Hendy, Olave. I'm going Hendy and Judkins. Not much of a hesitation in my mind. Never answered my chat. Says, I think I did. I think you were just impatient. But I appreciate your second chat. Let's search. I know I'm going to find it, and I know we answered it, but he's just impatient. But we'll look for it real quickly. And then we'll send him on a lap if he's wrong. 49ers, especially 49ers. 49ers, come on, bro. Didn't answer my chat. Fan. This is the only message you sent. This is the only super chat you sent. So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at it right now. I searched. You must have thought you sent a super chat. It didn't go through. I'm looking at it right now. So that's a lap. All right. Start 2, Genty, Chase Brown, Emmanuel Wilson. I'm going to go Genty and Chase Brown personally, but everyone's voting on that Wilson Genty right now, so you can get a glimpse of that. We got memberships by Perps. Perps dropping gifted memberships. 20 gifted memberships from Perps right now. Did I miss any other gifted memberships? We got Perps dropping 20. I'll put that in the corner. Perps, thank you very much for dropping the 20 gifted memberships, my boy. Look at this guy. Play 5, get 100, by the way, on Underdog.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Play 5, get 100. If anybody wants to play Underdog today, hit this link. I'm going to pin it in the live chat. Play 5, get 100 on Underdog. Smash this link right here. Perps, thank you for the gifted memberships. If you get one from Perps, please thank Perps for dropping that. Perps to the motherfreaking moon. Start to, I'm going to go Genty, Chase Brown, final answer. But if you want to go Wilson over Genty, I totally understand. That's the only one that I would debate whatsoever. Appreciate you for the super chat, young man. This one here, need a QB, Flacco or Shuck. I'm going to go Flacco. I don't trust Shuck yet. Start 3, Devontae Smith, Buka Rice, JMO. That's easy, bro. Buka Rice, what are we doing? Already answered this one. Anyway, but yeah, Buka Rice, and then it's coming down to the Caleb question, like I said. Got to check your scoring. Do I play A.J. Brown or Javonte Williams? I'm going probably Javonte for safety, but I've been saying today that this is the one game you trust A.J. Brown against Dallas. It could be the one that perceives to fix everything, and then the next week the Eagles are back to normal. I'd probably say if you need a big swing, you go A.J. Brown. Javonte is pretty steady Eddie, though. But I think AJB is hard to sit this game. Chat, vote AJB or Javonte. Please vote in the chat. Love the show. Smitty, the show loves you back, pal. Mooney or Dobbs? I guess I go Dobbs, but bro, this is a tough call. And Dobbs is a tough matchup. The passing attack in general. Maybe we don't go Dobbs. I guess, guys, Mooney or Dobbs, please vote. 10 votes. Mooney or Dobbs. Dobbs or Mooney. Minnesota is going to be a really tough matchup for Jordan Love, but will Dobbs get enough work? He still could. I kind of want to lean Dobbs, but I don't know. Chat, please vote on that one. I need at least 10 votes. Javante's winning the vote, by the way, so get Javonte in according to the chat on that last question. Seattle or Atlanta? I'm going to go Seattle. It's Atlanta, man. I mean, they could score well, but thanks, Smitty. Enjoy your Sunday, my man. Thank you. Appreciate your trust. Thank you for the super chat, my boy. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Emmanuel Wilson or Swift. Also pick one. Sharps, Worthy, Washington. I'm going to go Swift for safety. I know Emmanuel Wilson's the fun play right now, but I just because he's starting doesn't mean he's a monster this day. I'd say Swift has earned this, and pick one. I'm probably going to go Worthy, I suppose, and take the swing at Worthy. Sharps probably is a bit safer if you need safety, Zach. T. Higgins, Sean Tucker, B. Hall, or Emmanuel Wilson. I'm going to go Tucker. It's just the volume seems to be there. The matchup's tough, but the volume's going to be good. This one here from Shooter, appreciate you. Half PPR, 12 man, pick one. Watson, Wilson, Tootin. I'm going to go Wilson here. I think Tootin's a nice play, but I think Wilson does get enough work that you say this is the more guaranteed play. So Wilson, but it's a tough call for sure. And then this one from 49ers, he says, pretty sure I did send one, but pick two to start for flex. Stevenson, Pittman. Did you send it at like the very beginning before, like hour or long time before the show started? Because that could be that you did that. Pretty sure. For flex, start. Okay, so pick two, start for flex. Stevenson, Pittman, or Dobbs. I'd probably go Dobbs and Pittman. I guess because of the Green Bay matchup, you could go Stevenson over Dobbs, I suppose, but Pittman I would lock in. The other one's kind of a crapshoot, kind of a coin toss. If you think Stevenson's going to get work, I'd throw, I guess, Stevenson in, but I think with a turf toe, I don't know how much work he'll get. We're not sure. I'd probably go Dobbs. And the tight end, Otten or Theo, I'd probably go Otten. I know he had a bad game, but I still think they could throw to him a lot. Theo's okay. Trust your gut on that one, but I think I go Otten. And flex, Yoshi Voss, Tracy. I mean, Tracy's probably safer. I think Tracy gets a lot of volume. He got a lot of work last week. I think it's a total split right now over in New York. So I think he's probably a pretty safe play. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Flex, Hendy, Devontae Smith, or JMO, leaning Hendy. Yeah, I am too. I want JMO in there, though. I really do want JMO in there, but I mean, that's a tough call. I'm not sitting Hendy. I'm just not going to sit Hendy. He's got 5 TDs in 2 games. He's got 460 yards in 2 games. He's got 4.9 yards per carry. He's a top 5 running back in 2 games. Pick 2 for running back 1 and 2, Tucker, Aaron Jones, and Wilson. I like Aaron Jones, but he keeps getting banged up. and I just think that Tucker and Wilson are better plays this week. So I'm going to go Tucker and Wilson, but pretty close call, my boy. Pretty close call. Start one flex, one, what's this one from 4787? Start one flex, one. Start one flex, one. I don't know what the hell you're asking, bro. Brees, Hall, Aaron Jones, or Pierce. I would go Hall. And Pierce after that if you need another one. Hendy equals my 16th round keeper. Attaboy double R. Nice work. He probably got cut, didn't he? You picked him up. That's wild. Absolutely wild, my boy. This one here, I think Super Chat was missed. Probably not. But thank you. Booty or Watson. I would say, if I did miss it, I apologize. But Booty or Watson. I'd probably say Watson. I think that we did get this question a couple times. I'd say Watson, but it's not an easy call. Booty coming back from injury is the only reason why I'm not like smashing the pardon the way I word it, the Booty. Booty's, just we're waiting on to see if he's healthy. But I would say yeah. If Booty was healthy and we knew it, it'd be different. But I think Watson. Rashad White or Alec Pierce. I'd probably go Alec Pierce, bro. What's Rashad White going to do? We don't know what he's going to do. T-Mac or Pickens. I go Pickens, but man, T-Mac is a good play too. They're both fantastic. Chat, vote T-Mac or Pickens. Please vote at least 10 votes. T-Mac, Pickens, T-Mac. I need at least 10 votes. At least 10 on that one, please. Don't get me wrong, I'm starting Hendy, but I have no confidence in Vrabel. I understand that stance. I mean, it's like PTSD, bro. You just can't shake it. I understand. You're not wrong to be, like, worried. But, I mean, how are you going to sit him, though, Imagine the guy that sat him both weeks. They held on to Hendy, and they're like, I don't know if I could do it. And they sat him the first game. He had 2 touchdowns, 2 50-plus yard runs. And then the next game, they're like, if I sit him now and I'm right, then I'll feel better about the last week. I'm going to sit him again. I don't think the guy that sat Hendy those 2 games that held on to him all year and sat him both games, I don't think that guy's playing fantasy football ever again. I don't think he can handle it. I think he's going to break down. There's no way you can survive that. Weathering through all the Hendy drama and then sitting him, imagine the feeling. It's got to be the worst feeling in the world. Pick up Sanders for Keeper League and drop Bill? Absolutely. What's Bill? I wish I didn't have to say that, but what is he? Because the Commanders don't care about him. Need a wide receiver and a flex. Genty, Tootin, Yoshi Voss, Booty. I mean, I guess I go Booty in this situation, and then I probably go Genty. But it's a close call. Perps with a super chat. Perps. Smitty goes in order of super chats, guys. 20, 50, 100 super chats. Jump the line, especially in $2. Thank you. Perps. Appreciate you, Perps to the freaking moon. This one here from is it Bush League to roster extra QBs to block people? It's absolutely fine. That's on other people. Like, can I ask you a question though? Is it strategy to pick up quarterbacks and block people? Yes. Is it strategy to wait and dangle in front of everybody that you're holding other running backs and wide receivers to try and get you an extra advantage as long as you can and then go get your quarterback? Like, how is that any different? How is trying to dangle in front of everybody? Guys, I'm not going to pick up a quarterback until the last second because I'm going to try and get an advantage at running back and wide receiver by holding on to running back and wide receivers like Wilson and etc. How is it not arguable that it's the same thing? You know what I'm saying? Also, 1 at QB, 2 love Bryce or Gino. I think you go Gino. Or I'm sorry, Bryce. No, don't go Gino. I think you go Bryce Young. He proved it last week. Definitely deserving, I think, of the nod in this one, especially against those options. Need a wide receiver and a flex. Genty, Tootin. Let's go wide receiver. I think I answered this one. Booty and then Genty. But I do want Tootin in there. Trust your call between Genty and Tootin, honestly. We had people like complaining on the last show because I said contemplate. and they're like, Genty, how can you contemplate? Because Genty's got 6 carries last week. There's definitely a contemplation going on, but I think you got to go Genty. Guess who has a bigger game, Sharps or Worthy? Probably Worthy because of Kenneth Walker being hinted to get more work this week. He's been injured with the glute, but he's a go. So flex Sharps, Worthy, or Tootin. I'm gonna go Worthy for. I'm gonna go. You know what? I might have answered Worthy on the other one. I think I'm going Tootin. I think I'm going Tootin here. I don't know if I've answered Tootin on that one or not. I've been asked that question 2 or 3 times. And that's why you got to keep watching the show, because I might sway and change my mind. You got 700 people on YouTube in here. Hit that thumb up button on the way in the door. Only 140 thumbs up. Please punch the thumb up button. Judkins or JJ? I think I lean Judkins this week, but damn, I mean, how do you sit one, Tracy or Stevenson? I'd probably go Tracy. But how are you sitting one of Judkins or JJ? How's your team that good, bro? I'd probably go Judkins. I think he scores twice or has a good chance for it this week. But start 2 PPR, Wandell, Rashad White, Gainwell. I'm going Wandell and Gainwell. I don't trust Rashad White this week. But it's a tough call, close call. House of Brady, appreciate you dropping your super chat, young man. Pearsall, Dortch, Burden to start at wide receiver 3. I'm going to go Pearsall in this situation, but I do really like Burden this week. You want to go high risk, high reward, throw Burden out there. I really like Burden this week. He's one of the sneaky, crafty plays of the week. We got him on the waiver board for a reason. We love Burden. Dortch is nice too. Pearsall is also nice, but Burden is a guy that we have on the list there, second for wide receiver waivers, and there's a reason he's there. But I do think Pearsall is a bit safer. Burden's a higher risk, higher reward. Get in the game day lounge. If anybody wants live chatting during the entire games or last second advice or 365 24/7 advice, make sure you get on over to the Patreon. I'm going to drop that link right now in the live chat. I'll pin the link in the live chat right now. This is where we hang out during the games, and literally it's like play by play. So if you're working and you can't watch the games, like you can literally pull up the game day lounge and it's a play by play. I'm down bad. Start 3, Sharps, Walker, Burden, DK. Probably going to sit DK in this situation. But, that is pretty down bad. But you got this, bro. You got this. Keep the faith. Keep the faith, my boy. And then this one here from AZ. Appreciate you. Chase or Dowdle. I assume you mean Chase is suspended this game. So I think you mean just like overall. I'm 3-8 and would love to beat the guy in first place. I don't think if this is Chase Brown, you got to say Chase Brown because Chase is Jamar Chase, just so you know. I will probably say if it's Chase Brown, I'm going Dowdle. Yeah, if it's Jamar Chase or Dowdle, I think you take Jamar Chase. If you can weather it at 3-8, you probably can't. So you need Dowdle this week to try and win to move forward at 3-8. So you probably have to go Dowdle. But you want something in return if you're trading that. If it's Chase Brown, then it's Dowdle over Chase Brown. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. PPR tight end premium, Fannin, Worthy, or Booty. I probably go Worthy personally. Hesitant on Worthy. I am too, but I'm also hesitant on Booty coming back with an injury. But if your gut is screaming start Booty, start Booty. I think Booty could be in the end zone. Touchdown. I certainly see it. I certainly see Booty scoring a touchdown. Worthy could score 2, though. And Worthy's always like 1 mega millimeter away from a big, long touchdown score. But I would probably say Booty's your high-risk, high-reward play. Worthy's a little bit more, even though he's inconsistent, he's your more steady Eddie call. So, tough to say. Zach says, I'm expected to lose all 3 leagues today after the Thursday game, so it'll be a bad day today. Well, Zach, that's a bad attitude to have, Zach, walking in. So, you got to change your own fate, my boy. That negative Noah stuff isn't going to fly. There you go. All the firepower I have for the lineup, says Perps. Perps, appreciate you. Perps to the motherfucking moon. DeBalt. Let's see. Booty or Mooney? Probably Booty. Starting Walker or Tucker? I'd probably say Tucker by a hair. Tucker by a hair, my boy. 8-month membership here from celebratory message here. Smitty to the moon. Thank you. Appreciate you, my boy. Worried Patriots blow out Bengals. May doesn't do much. It's certainly anything's possible. I mean, but he could also have a great day. You're kind of hard to predict that. Monty Tucker, I'd go Tucker, but I do think Monty could score a touchdown today. It was a joke for the person, Smitty. Why you put that one on the screen? I don't know, because I'm trying to put other messages on screen. Hey, brother, it's been years, says Thomas. We got a lot of Thomases, so I just assume this is the Thomas we see all the time. Glad to see you, pal. 1 PPR, need 2. Tootin, Booty, and Parasol. I'm going Tootin. Safety, I guess you could say Booty and Parasol, but I'm going to go Parasol and Tootin personally. I do think Booty could score, though, as I've said. But Tootin and Parasol. Also need 1 tight end. Should it be Terrence Ferguson, Likely, or Strange? I think Ferguson does pretty well today. They like him a lot. Strange is probably the better player. He's coming off injury, but I think they probably wouldn't play him if he wasn't ready, so I'm going to go Strange by a hair. Also, 1 PPR, Walker or Sharps. I go Walker because they said they're going to give him more work. This is a tough one. Thomas, I hate that you're asking me these questions on your way back in the door because I could get all these wrong. These are like worse than 50-50 calls. These are like 20-80 calls. Chat vote. Tootin, Booty, Parasol. Please pick 2. Tootin, Booty, Parasol. Please pick 2. And then Ferguson or Strange. Please pick 1. Let's help our boy out, Thomas, who hasn't been here for a while, and I don't want to mess this up for him because these are really, really tough calls. They're literally the epitome of 20-80 calls. Like, you're going to get it wrong almost every time. They're just you want to go with logic, but there's such bad calls. No offense, and everybody's kind of got that going on with their team with injuries and such. There's such bad calls. It's usually the opposite. Is Chase Brown? It's Chase Brown. Thanks, Smitty. Always tune in. Thank you, AZ. Appreciate you. Yeah, then I'm going Dowdle. Definitely doing the Dowdle thing. Appreciate you, 907, for the blank $2 hauler. Make sure you include your message in your super chat, my boy, because I will not see your other messages that are by the time I get to things. Ugg, I didn't put in my message. Well, you didn't put in your message there either. Matt, appreciate you. Walker or Sharps? I lean Walker. He's expected to get work, so it just feels like the smart play. 907, I'm looking for another message from you to try and make sure I take care of you. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. I found it. Booty or Tucker? Sean Tucker. I like Keyshawn Booty this week, but I mean, come on, Sean Tucker's he's gonna probably get fed. It's a tough matchup and all, And Walker Sharps, this is a tough call, but Walker's supposed to get more work and he's playing, so it's hard to assume he's not gonna, be out there getting a lot of work. Darnold or Brissett? I think Brissett's got a little more upside. Drop Judy or Mechie. I'd drop Mechie. I'd probably pick Darnold over Brissett for safety, Brissett for high risk, high reward. So you got to pick your poison there. There's no real good answer with that quarterback call. It's high risk, high reward with Brissett, and it's Darnold is probably a little bit steadier. That's just the way it is. I wish guys vote Darnold or Brissett. Let's get at least 10 votes on Darnold Brissett. That's the best I can do for you on such a tough question. Is get the chat vote. Darnold or Brissett? 10 votes, please. Darnold, Brissett. Warren, Hendy, Chase Brown, Judkins, pick 3. Aloha. Thank you, Scotty. I'm going to go Hendy, Chase Brown, and Judkins. I'm not even blinking. Does that mean Warren can outscore Judkins? Yeah, sure he could. L. Wilson's or Tucker, thanks, man. Tucker for me, but trust your gut because Wilson's a good play. Underdog, play Underdog if Josh Allen already lost you your week. Code Smitty. It's great advice. Jorge, if Josh Allen lost you your week, go play Underdog, promo code Smitty. That link is being dropped in the live chat. And you guys see all of my recommended hires this week. If anybody wants to tail them, anybody concerned about their play, please hit that number down below. But if you need some potential players to Scotty says Smitty has the coolest wife, lets him do his job. Yeah, Miss Smitty's good. Miss Smitty, she understands it. she gets, it's pretty good. I have to say she's pretty good too. She's pretty good. I mean, Smitty's at home all day. I built this studio. This is not just a room or a closet or the basement. I built this attached to the house. Reinvested every dollar I had that first 2-3 years. Built this sucker on here. So she gets good old Smitty to be at home. I do work a lot, but I also get to, meander on through the house constantly. So, yeah, she's awesome. Thank you, Scotty. She'd appreciate that. 0.5. If she ever watched the show, which she's never has. She plays fantasy football, still has never watched the show. Well, what wife really appreciates their husband? I mean, what? Never, ever. I've never walked out and it's playing. We thought we'd had it. I do imagine if she did something like this, I would play every show. Hopefully she doesn't hear this, or she'll start watching it every day, just forcing it upon, like Clockwork Orange with her eyes open. No, you told me I never want to watch every episode. Now you've done it now. 0.5. Yeah, but I don't think she's ever watched the show. Plays fantasy football. Never watched it. bad endorsement, eh? 0.5 PPR flex. Watson, Pierce, Tootin, Slayton. Nah. I go Watson for high risk, high reward. Tootin for safety. I think Tootin is safe. I think Tootin's got a safe. I'm gonna hear that. People are gonna comment. I can see it now. Tootin's safe, is he? 2 points. Thanks, man. You ruined my day. I'm gonna be like Miss Smitty. I'm not watching your show anymore. I do like Tootin this day, but who knows what happens tomorrow? Do I start Price or Jones? Price? You mean Pierce? Or Jones? Okay, sorry. I'd probably say Jones. Smitty giving wife bad advice. No, there have been times too though where she's like, do I start Fields or do I start Darnold? I'm like, Darnold just threw for 4 touchdowns. Fields is barely getting. Fields goes out and outscores him. So I do tend to like get nervous when Miss Smitty asks me a question, because if I get it wrong, it's like then she's never gonna watch the show ever. It's just ever. Smitty, AJ Brown, or Adunze. Adunze might be a tad safer. Maybe not. I mean, he's inconsistent. AJ Brown, I just can't. If you can't start AJ Brown against Dallas, then you should never have drafted him. You should never start him ever again. That's kind of my way of thinking about AJ Brown this week. You got to play him. This matchup is gold. I got Charbonnet, Sean Tucker, and Tootin need 2. I am going Sean Tucker for sure. I'm going Tootin as well. It's an easy call for me, but everybody's got to make their own way. Plays fantasy football but doesn't watch your show. It's the greatest endorsement ever. Guys, Miss Smitty has never seen it. Doesn't know what it is. Kids don't care about him. He walks out of his studio. What's this guy doing back there? We don't even take you seriously. What family member or wife really respects what their husband does anyway? I mean, this is the nature of things. Even like The Rock. Maybe The Rock's kids are proud of him, but anybody Brad Pitt or anybody, like, they make jokes like my kids. Even Obama used to make kids jokes about his kids, saying his kids think he's embarrassing and all that. It doesn't matter. You're the president. They don't care. You're dad. You're a dad. You're nothing but a daddy. I remember my daughter said when I was younger, she got real mad at me and she goes, "You daddy." It's like the worst thing you could be to him. What's with all the negative Nancys and Neds today? Smitty is the ultimate. I don't know. I haven't noticed a single negative person, Perp, so I don't know what you're even referencing. I don't know if there's been a negative person in the chat. Where they've been at? Somebody tell me what their name is. I'll look them up. Who's been a negative Nancy? Spit it out. Who is it? Guys, thank you all. Well, kickoff is happening here in about T-minus 10 minutes. I'm going to jump. I got some lineups I got to set. And I'll see you all after. Appreciate you all. Thank you. We're live after games. So after the afternoon games, we'll do a wrap-up show. So circle back here. We'll break it all down and more. Good luck to all of you. Hopefully we get some house calls. We'll leave on the house call handy note. This one here, Flex, Tootin, Mooney, Jacoby Myers, or Booty. I would probably personally go Tootin myself. I'm a Tootin kind of guy. You know, we're a Tootin channel. We toot on this channel, Tootin to the moon. Appreciate you all, guys. Appreciate every single one of you.
Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby. Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby. Time he touches the football, baby. Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby. Other shows they said do not draft him. Warren Williams said he was small. Your mama won't be making you meatloaf because you got no house call.
I thought Miss Smitty was going to subscribe after this song dropped. Maybe she'll subscribe one day. Flex, Tootin, Mooney, Jacoby Myers, Booty. We're going Tootin. And then Productions, appreciate you. Flex, Booty, Tootin. I'm going Tootin. Flex, Watson, Monty. I'm actually going Monty here. I think Monty's good for a score, but man, trust your gut. This is like me forcing it. You know? All right, see you all for the wrap-up show after. Thank you all for the super chats. You guys rock to the moon. Travis is fanning her Strange. I mean, Strange might be the better call, but it's hard to predict if he's like healthy, you know. All right, see you all for the wrap-up show.